Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Once upon a time, in the faraway North Pole, Santa Claus, also known as Saint Nicholas, lived with Mrs. Claus, diligent little elves, and a herd of lovable reindeer. Every year, on Christmas Eve, Santa, together with his reindeer, would fly around the world delivering gifts to children. That particular Christmas Eve, everything was ready for the big night. The elves were busy wrapping presents, Santa was checking the list of good and naughty children, and the reindeer were preparing for the long journey ahead. However, something unexpected was about to happen that night. Santa was about to receive a special gift from one of his reindeer. On a cold night, as the snow fell thick and the sky of the North Pole was veiled in an eerie darkness, a little reindeer named Rudolph was born. But unlike the other reindeer, Rudolph had a red, glowing nose, large and round like a lantern. The other reindeer didn't understand and began to mock him.
Oh my, your nose is so bright, it's like a red ball. You'll never need a light in the dark.
Haha, your nose looks like a glowing lamp. If anyone needs to find their way, just look at your nose.
These teasing words made Rudolph feel incredibly sad. He was always isolated, feeling like an odd one out, different from all the other reindeer. While the others played together, he would silently stand apart, looking at his own shadow in the cold, pale moonlight.
Why me? Why do I have this red nose? Why do they keep mocking me? I don't fit in with anyone.
But little did he know, that very red nose would become the greatest gift Santa would receive on that Christmas Eve. He didn't realize that sometimes the things we perceive as flaws are the very qualities that make us special. Then Christmas Eve arrived. The whole North Pole village was busy preparing for the journey. The elves were wrapping presents, Santa was double-checking the sleighs and the reindeer, and Mrs. Claus was organizing all the supplies. Everything seemed ready until suddenly, an unexpected event occurred. A thick fog rolled in, covering the entire sky and making everything incredibly difficult to see. Even though the sky was filled with bright stars, the fog was so thick it made it impossible to fly through the dark skies.
Oh no, the fog is too thick. Even the reindeer can't see anything. We can't fly in this darkness.
Santa grew worried, for Christmas Eve was the most important night of the year, and children all over the world were eagerly waiting for their gifts. He and the elves frantically brainstormed ways to solve the problem, but nothing seemed to work. They tried attaching lights to the sleigh, but they couldn't keep them steady in the air. They tried letting the younger reindeer lead, but the fog was so thick that even their sharp eyes couldn't see the path ahead. It seemed like they were at an impasse.
Oh no, how can we deliver presents to all the children if we can't even see the road?
Then, suddenly, an idea struck him. It was an unexpected solution, but it just might be the only way to overcome the challenge.
Maybe Rudolph can help us.
Everyone turned to look at Rudolph. The little reindeer was surprised and couldn't believe his ears. He had always been teased because of his red nose, but now he was being chosen to lead the journey that night. The other reindeer looked at him with astonishment, feeling guilty for mocking him earlier. A quiet, remorseful silence filled the air.
I can't believe it. It's Rudolph's red nose that's going to guide us through. He's the one who will lead us through the darkness tonight.
I'll try, Santa. I'm not sure I can do it, but I'll give it my best.
Although he was very anxious and lacked confidence, Rudolph decided to follow Santa's instructions. The elves quickly dressed him in a suit like the other reindeer. When the suit was put on, Rudolph felt like he was finally part of the team. He took the lead in the sleigh train, although he was still filled with doubt. As the journey began, the fog grew thicker and thicker. The reindeer couldn't see anything but the dense darkness, and everyone was anxious. But as there was no other choice, Rudolph unexpectedly played a crucial role. As the fog became the thickest, Rudolph's red nose suddenly began to shine brighter than ever, lighting the path ahead. Santa and the reindeer were overjoyed when they saw the light from Rudolph's nose. The little reindeer had guided the sleigh train through the entire Christmas Eve, helping Santa deliver presents to children all over the world just in time.
I told you, Rudolph, you are the most special one. Your red nose isn't just a difference, it's a precious gift that the world needs.
Thank you, Santa. I never thought my nose could be so important.
And so, from that Christmas Eve on, Rudolph became Santa's official guide, always the light that led the way through the darkest nights, whether there was fog or snow. The other reindeer not only felt regretful, but they also learned an important lesson. Every individual has something special, and sometimes what we think of as flaws are actually our greatest strengths.
Merry Christmas, Rudolph. You are the most special gift of all. From now on, you will always lead the way through the dark night. Remember, you will be the guide forever on every Christmas Eve.
And if you look up at the sky on Christmas Eve, you will see Rudolph's red nose shining brightly, because he will always guide Santa on his journey around the world, delivering gifts to all the children.